Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather stresses for March 31st, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. We also maintain a patient weather storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our patient weather storefront support the activities of patient weather. Looks like we are having a very active spring weather pattern across the U.S. for Tuesday morning. You can see that we have lots of unsettled weather across the western third of the country. Lots of unsettled weather, a little bit of snow here in the higher mountains, but we have a very active frontal system stretching all the way from Denver down to Oklahoma City, back through St. Louis, all the way up toward Detroit, and then through a low pressure center over upper Michigan and extending then all the way back into New England. Lots of unsettled weather ahead and along this front. Looking at our vitality index, we're picking up significant activity here in the West, California, in the Four Corners, a little bit coming back into the extreme northwest or the Pacific Northwest. Lots of activity up here in the plains and unsettled weather in the middle portions of the country. Most of the activity will be off and east, but there is a little bit going on here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Looking at pressure change, we have falling pressure trying to move into Washington, Oregon, northern Idaho. We have falling pressure here in eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and upstate New York. But we have rising pressure back here in the plains from really Nebraska to North and South Dakota, across much of Iowa, Minnesota, into Wisconsin, and we still have rising pressure here in the state of Maine. Looking at temperature change, we have some very nice warming temperatures here in the Northeast, but note this is post-frontal cooling running all the way from California across through Utah up into Colorado, up and down the northern plains all the way to the Great Lakes. This again in the far west because of cloud cover cooling, but here up in the plains up through Michigan, it's significant cooling because it is post that cold front. Looking at the change in dew point temperatures, you can see that we have increasing dew point temperatures here across the west, decreasing dew point temperatures post-frontal. Notice vapor pressure very significant here through the western portions of the upper Four Corners, and significant increase in moisture, especially on up into New England. What I think is very different for this time of the year is we have not been seeing instability very much. And note that for Tuesday, we have significant instability here stretching all the way from West Texas across Oklahoma, picking up here in Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. And this will be an area to watch for showers and thunder showers. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you'll see that we have that risk of migraine stretching up and down California. And for California, this is rather significant headache risk across Nevada, down into the Four Corners, stretching across Colorado and up into Wyoming, and very significant from Kansas, clearing up into the Dakotas, across Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, really catching the northernmost portions of Michigan, and then swinging back through New England, picking up eastern Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Note that we have a risk of asthma and arthritis here in Washington state into northern Idaho and northwestern Montana, but a real significant risk of asthma and arthritis across the east, basically from Alabama through Tennessee, Kentucky, up to Ohio, and then east, and up and down the eastern seaboard from Florida, clear on up to Pennsylvania, and the asthma arthritis risk rather strong in West Virginia, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and across New Jersey. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you heard, tell us where you're located.